Ah, what a beautiful thing springtime is. The birds are blooming, the flowers are blooming, the bees are having sex with the birds. Hello? Can this wait? I'm in the middle of an introduction. What? So, wait a second. You're telling me that not only is it not spring, but the birds and bees don't actually have sex? Boy, did I get the wrong talk. Anyway, there's not a lot that can be said about bees. They're small, they're fuzzy, they have swords in their asses, and they molest flowers to make delicious honey. Being a rodent, I've never been stung by a bee and thus cannot fathom the white-hot agony it must induce. I have nothing against bees, they don't frighten me, they don't... Oh my god, get it away, dear Christ! Call my therapist, tell him he's a rich man. Buckle up, fuckos. For this week, we're tackling B-Movie. B-Movie is a B-movie. It's a film about these things, written by and starring this guy from this thing, whose character looks like this. In it, this bee, named Barry B. Benson, because bees, does something? I don't know, there's a woman and courts and flowers. This guy's in an infant bounce chair or some shit. Something about paper boats. I need a drink. Let's get this over with. Oh, that's pleasant.
According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way that a bee should be able to fly.
Is that...
Its wings are too small.
That's Jim Cummings. What the fuck? This bastard who voiced all of this is the narrator for B-Movie? He couldn't possibly have been strapped for work. Why'd you do it, Jim? Why? So, apparently in bee society, there's bee school and bee college, the length of which totals 9 days altogether. And today is graduation day.
Yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow, black. Ooh, black and yellow.
Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
Here's the graduate. We're very proud of you, son. And a perfect report card. All B's.
Because bees!
I got a thing going here. Boy, quite a bit of pomp. Under the circumstances.
The joke is that the name of the song playing is Pomp and Circumstance. This is a kid's movie. I don't even know how I got that reference because God knows nobody else did.
Are we gonna pick our job today?
After a short graduation ceremony, the seat turns into a roller coaster, and the bees are taken on a tour of the hive they live in every day. They're shown the ins and outs of the honey production factory, where nectar is mixed with a special formula, it's bee vomit, and turned into honey. It's here that Barry learns that once bees get assigned a job, they work it every day until they die, which he didn't know until now because... bees.
That girl was hot.
She's my cousin.
She is?
Yes, we're all cousins.
Right, you're right. Those ladies? Oh, aren't they our cousins too?
Distant.
Some creepy incestual scenes later, Barry decides he wants to be a pollen jock. You know, the big muscly chick magnets who get to go outside the hive, risking their lives by collecting pollen, and this can only end well. I just realized how unsettling these character designs are. They're just humanized a bit too much. The hair, the eyebrows, the fucking noses. It's like if Squidward looked like this throughout the entirety of SpongeBob. Children the world over would be in tears.
Something about stirring.
So finally, it's time for Barry to choose his job. He runs off and joins the pollen jocks, and I just realized these insects only have 4 legs, and before the bees are sent out, the big bee captain guy says,
Absolutely no talking to humans.
While out with the pollen jocks, Barry gets separated and wreaks havoc, but unfortunately does not die. He gets caught in a rainstorm and takes shelter in the apartment, and it is here we meet Vanessa. This is where the movie gets really damn awkward.
Why does his life have any less value than yours?
Vanessa proceeds to berate her husband, who is allergic to bee stings, for attempting to kill Barry. She then proceeds to tear his brochure in half for no reason. You could have put the entire thing under the cup, you dumb slut! And while freeing Barry, gives him what cannot be described as anything other than rail me eyes. The tender piano music serves to emphasize the romantic undertones of a scene where a woman puts a bee outside.
You like jazz?
Of course, he decides to talk to her. Why the hell wouldn't he? Oh, hey, nice product placement you got there. She freaks out at first, but they hit it off in a scene with way too many creepily romantic undertones. Upon returning to the hive, they become regular tones. Barry starts ranting about human culture and food and how great it is in a scene that wouldn't have been creepy in Ratatouille, but is most definitely creepy here. Barry returns home and lazes in the pool when suddenly, Jesus Christ, watching this movie makes me more uncomfortable than that time I had to shave the homeless as part of my community service sentence. Ugh. Seriously, this would be out of place in an Adult Swim cartoon, much less a film rated PG for parental guidance! While out with Vanessa again, Barry is taken inside a grocery store where he sees an aisle full of jars of honey, and freaks out, calling it theft. After a fight with a Mexican, he follows the honey supply truck to a farm where we're treated to some pretty intense anti-beekeeping propaganda. Needless to say, actual apiaries aren't exactly cruel, torturous slave labor camps. Of course, any kid watching this wouldn't know that! So, we're halfway through the movie by this point, and finally, we reach the main fucked up plot point in this fucking insane movie.
A Tri-County bee, Barry Benson, is saying he intends to sue the human race for stealing our honey.
That's right, this movie has officially become a courtroom drama. The courtroom scenes are really fucking stupid. There's a bear at one point, Sting shows up and is accused of cultural appropriation, it's weird. A few seconds later...
Talking bees, no yogurt night! My nerves are fried from riding on this emotional roller coaster!
Goodbye, Ken.
She leaves him for a fucking bee! This actually happens! This movie is fucked! I wanna go home.
This isn't about
you a little bed bug?
The lawyer goes on a rant about bee illegitimacy, which pisses Barry's friend off so much that he flies over and stings the lawyer in the ass. Science time! A bee's stinger is covered in backwards-facing barbs that cause it to hook into flesh and stay there after it goes in. Thus, when the bee pulls away, the stinger stays, dragging out with it the bee's poison sac, intestines, and other innards. It is, by nature, fatal for the bee. However, Barry's friend simply winds up in the hospital, with an IV bottle of honey flowing into his little bee veins.
Look at me. They got it from the cafeteria. They got it from downstairs in a tuna sandwich. Look, there's a little celery still on it.
I am ready for death.
like to sting someone.
Barry wins the case by presenting in the court with a bee smoker and...
living out our lives as honey slaves to the white man!
And I start fashioning a tiny noose from a spaghetti noodle. As a result, the bees get back all their honey, Winnie the Pooh gets shot, women are swatted in the shower, and little old ladies are attacked in the streets.
Take them out. Necessary inclusion of honey and bogus health products?
You thought I was kidding, didn't you? Of course, now that the bees have been given back the billions of gallons of honey that was taken from them, they no longer have to work. So we see the repercussions of this, as well as pretty accurate depictions of what the world would be like with no bees. Flowers and trees are unable to reproduce without their key pollinator, human society is thrown into chaos, and bees are thrust into a state of existential crisis.
How about a suicide pact?
How do we do it?
I'll sting you, you step on me.
That just kills you twice.
Right.
Christ, Barry, no need to get that dark on me. What the shit? Here's the number for the National Suicide Hotline, by the way. Upon realizing that he's fucked his shit all up, Barry decides to go to a huge floral parade and repollinate the world's flowers using the pollen from the parade. Through a series of events, Barry inadvertently knocks out the pilot and co-pilot of an airplane.
I tried to talk to them, but then there was a dustbuster, a toupee, a life raft exploded. Now one's bald, one's in a boat, and they're both unconscious.
There are 20 fucking minutes left in this goddamn movie. My head hurts so badly. The bees of Barry's hive, impassioned by a speech Barry gave over the plane's communication thingy, rush in to fucking carry the plane safely to the ground. What is happening? Tons of flowers are dumped out of the plane, and the bees use them to pollinate the flowers of the world. Barry is made a pollen jock and a happy song plays as all the world's flowers are magically revived in a way that isn't actually possible, but that's okay because bees! Barry and Vanessa become partners in a shop that sells flowers, honey, and legal advice. To cows, I guess. The morals of B-Movie are as follows. 1. It's okay if you're being taken advantage of as long as the job you do is an important one. 2. Being forced to do one job tirelessly for the rest of your life isn't a problem. 3. It's okay to leave your spouse for an insect! This movie was a meme goldmine. It has no merit in any other way. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go throw away every jar of honey I've got and then take a nap on the freeway. Animated films I review are ranked and graded using the world's most prized items, acorns, and are judged based on their plot, characters, dialogue, animation, and morals. B-Movie scores an F for fuck this movie. Hey, thanks for watching the second episode of Vermin Report. If you liked it, click that happy thumb below or the little thing that says subscribe if you want to see more videos of a filthy tree-dwelling rodent talking about terrible pieces of media. Don't forget to tell me what you thought of it in the comments section too. I'll try to have more videos up on a more regular basis. Now get into my house.